exercise is great. I like the phrase rest is rest, motion is lotion. So as the dogs get older and they start slowing down, a lot of people just kind of either stop or it's really brief exercise or walks. But I think keeping their joints working and keeping up that muscle mass is going to be huge. And also just listen to your dogs. If you go around the block twice and they're like completely sore afterwards and they don't want to get up or they're just exhausted, then maybe you just go around the block once. I have an old dog and we just go to the end of the block and it takes us forever, but I also have a harness to help him with his front legs and his back legs, and so he gets out, he smells things, he interacts with other dogs. It's a really nice time for him, and it kind of keeps his muscles and joints supple as much as possible. But as they get older, you're going to want to curb it to what they tell you in terms of how they're feeling, how they feel afterwards. If they just like being outside, there's also strollers and wagons. I have a stroller. I get many weird looks, but it's fine. My dog loves it. So yeah, I think just listening to your dog, that's not a very specific answer, but it's very specific to your dog. But just keep them mobile or just keep them mentally engaged throughout their life is going to really help their spirits and keep up that muscle mass as well.
I'm gonna just jump in with specifically if you have an older dog, one thing that I often will see is just owners coming in, their dog is maybe limping on one side or having difficulty getting up. One easy thing that you guys can do is just avoid extreme range of motion movements. So avoid stairs, barreling up the stairs, jumping in and out of the car. If your dog loves to jump up onto the bed, which is what my dog likes to do, I would say maybe get a ramp or something, or lift them up if you can carry your 150-pound Great Dane. But just those extreme range of motion, especially with things like arthritis and hip dysplasia, those sorts of things, which often these older pups are going to be more predisposed to have, that's where a lot of the irritation and the discomfort comes from. If we can limit that, then we're going to have a much more comfortable dog. So again, stairs, jumping in and out of the car, up on the bed, up on the couch, try and minimize those and or help facilitate easy kind of transitions in those spots. So, I think there's a lot of benefits of having a super active young pup as far as like getting their energy out. They're going to maybe be a little easier to train and behave better and things. But ultimately, I think, I would just be conscious of it as they kind of pass that 4 or 5-year-old, because even still, we see dogs come in doing these super athletic motions and blowing out their ACL and things because they're running on loose substrates or going up and down incline, or like throwing a ball on an incline is like, to me, I'm just like, oh, it's knees, please don't blow out the ACL, So just like, being conscious of it, I think is a really good place. Like I've had owners come in and just me even just talking about that, they'll go home and be like, wow, my dog throughout a day goes up and down our stairs 42 times. And I'm like, whoa. And they're limping, and then we cut it down to 4, and it's like, hey, we don't even need the meds anymore, so. Yeah, generally speaking, when clients come in with their dogs, it's very easy for, people to assume, most dogs are probably slightly over body condition. I think the best way to conquer that is to help educate and just get an idea of what a healthy weight looks like. Because I think if I show an owner a picture of this is the ideal weight for your breed specific, it'll probably look skinny. Generally speaking, I think it'll probably look skinny for your average person. But every breed's also different. But at the same time, an easy solution is just if you, with your dog, with its size, weight, breed, all of that, having that conversation with a veterinarian or looking at credible sources, just being able to find out what is an appropriate weight and body condition. Weight is different. Body condition, I think, is where some of these health worries come down the road. And there are certain things, and Tori's going to probably jump in here too, but being able to feel the ribs, there should be a narrowing if you're looking from the top and from the side, depending on the breed, but maybe you can get into more specifics there.
Some people like to take the back of their hand, and if you're kind of feeling the rib area of your own dog, if you feel towards the knuckles, you can feel your kind of hand bones right there, and that feels a little bit bony, but if you go down a little bit further, you can still feel them. So that's how your dog's ribs should feel if you're kind of petting them on each side. And a lot of people will probably go home and be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That seems like it's too skinny. I like to keep my dogs on the thinner side because with breeds, they're just more prone to tear their knees, have back issues. So that's kind of what you want to feel for. I know it's a little bit weird, but also if they feel like this, that means that they're fat.